the messiest creatures on earth. Hey guys, welcome to Appalachia's Homestead. I have not made a duck video in the past month. You've seen them here or there, that I have these 5 new ducklings. And we hatched them here, actually in the bathroom where we still are. Had a broody hen that had actually been sitting and incubating the eggs until day 14. If you caught that on the YouTube channel, I candled the eggs and showed you how they were thriving in the actual egg itself. Well, I took them and I put them in the brooder, and then they all 5 hatched. Isn't that wonderful? Now there was one little baby, the last one I actually had to help a little bit. The shell was completely dry, the membrane was completely dry. So I made a judgment there and I kind of helped it a little bit. And it was like, poop, I'm out, here I am world. All right, so we're in the bathroom, and that is where I typically keep my baby ducks. The reason being is because when you transfer these little critters, it's easy for me to do a cleaning of my brooder if I put some puppy pads down and I put them over in the bathtub, okay, for say 30 minutes or so, an hour, let them hang out, run around a little bit. I've got water in there. So I've just come back and set up a brand new brooder. This is perfect timing because, again, like I said, I haven't made a duck video for you over on YouTube, so you get first dibs. As you can see, they are not little anymore. They're growing rapidly. There's 2 facts. Well, there's 3. Number 1, these are the cutest creatures on earth. They really, next to kittens and baby goats, ducklings are the best. But they are very messy. After about the first week, you're going to be astonished at how messy they actually can be. Just their nature. And number 3, they grow super duper fly fast. That is another amazing thing. I'm actually in a transition period with these little cute creatures, like basically to the point where I'm going to have to figure out where to put them that might have more room at this point, maybe put another brooder together, and they're getting to a point where I'm having to constantly clean. Now, if you have an outdoor setup, then clearly you have an advantage there. But the thing is that you already know an outdoor setup works really well with baby chicks as they grow. May not so much depending on how you've got it set up with ducks because they are so messy with water. So since I only have 5, we've kept them in the bathroom and we clean the brooder and change the brooder about every day, every other day. We have to put down fresh pine shavings, and clearly, look here, boom, total mess. Now, these ducks drink a whole lot more water than what you're seeing provided right there. But what I do is I put so much out to try to... They are flipping out. They've not been filmed like this. You don't know what to think about being a movie star today, do ya? So here's the main setup, guys. Keeping baby ducks is pretty doggone simple. If you're willing to push through the messy phase when they're babies, you're going to find that they're very enjoyable and they're a whole lot of fun, but you do have to push through the messy stage, okay? It's just part of having ducks. You just can't really get away from it. I focus on having a 50-gallon tote. I've never hatched out more than about 6 at a time. So, I mean, clearly, if you're going to have more than, say, 8, 10, 12 ducklings, you're talking about a whole different scenario altogether. But if I have anywhere from, say, like right now I have 5, this little tote for right now, for the moment, starting to get pushed, but it's worked great. I did have a heat source in here. You've seen I use the Brinzy. Okay, the Eco Brooder, that worked very well for about the first 2 weeks. I have pulled it out because they are just too big now. If you're talking about a month old, you can see how they're developing really nicely. So what I've done the first couple of weeks, which I am past that, but I want to let you know. So here's some of the things I really think you need to think about. Puppy pads. For about the first week to 10 days, I use puppy pads in my brooders. It's just easier to clean up because they poop a lot, they get in the water a lot, all of that sort of thing. So I will put down 2 puppy pads and I will let them use that throughout the day, and then we would have changed that out during the evening time, okay? So we would just transition that. Now, they can soak through puppy pads in an hour. So what I've done is slowly transition over to pine shavings. And so clearly we're going to have a mess. So before we go to bed, we'll put down some fresh ones. In the morning, we'll have to make a decision on how we want to change it out or how we do that. So like I said, we're in a transition. It's almost like you go, okay, they're almost too big for what we're doing. But up until this point, it works really well. They're in the bathroom. They are protected. You can see they're in my lovely bathroom. Oh, with the new toilet over there. The new toilet is in. But they're warm, they're protected, and I can transition when I'm cleaning. I can pop them in the bathtub for a little bit, take them out, put them back in here, and then we just go forth with cleaning up and whatnot. The main things that you need to know is that I like to use paper plates. Okay, when I have babies of any sort or mama with a baby, I use paper plates. Very inexpensive to buy. You can get like 300 or 400 of them for like $9 or something like that. We use them ourselves at times, obviously, for ease for mama. And then I feed all of my baby chicks, and if they have a broody hen or not, on a paper plate because they get so messy so fast. I just throw them away. I pitch them, okay? You can pitch them, you can put them in the compost, whatever you do with your paper plates. But I find that to be an easy tip for you, so you might want to consider that. Clearly, I have water. Look, they've already drank almost all that water. So I'll let they're eating. So you want to have a water source with them because they need that in order to properly take in their food. Now, I use a chick starter grower. That's fine to use. You do want to use a chick starter grower with them, obviously with the crumbles. And I also add in, let me come over here and stretch. Ooh! I add in brewer's yeast, okay? You don't want them to have issues in terms of bone growth and development, and you want to make sure you're using unmedicated feed, okay? The medicated feed is for coccidiosis. They're not really going to have an issue with that like chicks do. You're not going to have to worry about that. So you want to use a non-medicated feed because they eat so much that you don't want them to become over-medicated. So you use a non-medicated feed, which has been totally shredded right there. And then every day, about in the morning or sometimes twice a day, I will just put a little bit on top, kind of like a top dressing, like Parmesan cheese. A nice little teaspoon, just put it on there, mix it on there, and they're taking that in. I've never had an issue. Now you can clearly see, they had a buffet of greens today. That's, you know, you can pluck some nice grass, you can have your dandelion greens, goodies from your garden. You know, you slightly shred them up. That is kale. And I put it right next to the water and in the water, and they just go for it. They love it. They love it. They love it. So this is where we are at right now. What also is a good idea, if you're changing your brooder, is what I will do is I will let them swim. That's a good swimming time for them. So I'll put them in the bathtub, right there, and I'll let them swim in a shallow swim, say warm water. I can make sure it's warm, and they have fun for 30 minutes to 30 minutes or so, whatever. Take the brooder out, dump it, spray it, clean it, let it dry a little bit, and then bring it back in, and then that allows you to have a new brooder, and they've had a field trip. Keeping baby ducks is great, but again, it can be very, very messy. That's the main thing I think that shocks people. But keeping these simple tricks at hand has been the best thing. I have never had any trouble with any baby ducklings except one, and I thought I was beginning to have some issues, so I put it on a mixture with turmeric and got rid of the problem. So I've never had a major issue. These are Khaki Campbells, by the way, if you don't know. I raise Khaki Campbells. These are homegrown babies. So we've always had great luck and success with these wonderful creatures. They're friendly. They're great egg layers. They don't need water as much as you would. It's not necessarily like waterfowl per se. They are more like land ducks. And we have just always enjoyed them. And the eggs are fantastic. The eggs are fantastic. Excellent egg layers. Say hello, everybody. Hello. So it's not complicated. You're just in it to win it when you are raising them. So this is what we're looking at. So we're going to have to start making some decisions over the next couple of weeks. Actually, probably sooner than that, over the next week, as to how we're going to start transitioning them. We are in fall, but so you have to think about the weather. You have to think about what's the temperature outside, where will they be. I just pulled out the heat source, so we're in debate. Probably going to be keeping them indoors for a while. Maybe put them on the porch during the day, sort of thing, in terms of another brooder, separating them. So you have to start judging what works best every single time. That's what I tell you. Every time you have a broody mama, you have new baby chicks. That scenario that you're working with at that current time will be totally different than the one you worked with before, and the one that's going to come up next maybe for you, right? All right, guys, if you liked the video, we'll see you on the next one. Give us a little heart there. Looky there. So as soon as I click the button here, I will refill that water. They're drinking a lot of water right now because they ate. So what they'll do is they'll drink some more water, and they'll come over right over here, and they'll nestle where they're used to with their heat source, and they'll just chill. They'll just totally take a nap because they're so full. But we always want to make sure they always have access to the water in which they need, right? All right, guys, we'll talk to you soon. Hope you like this. Hope it helps you out. And I've been telling you for many, many years, if you're not sure about chickens and you're interested in ducks, I have to personally say I'm pretty partial to this breed. I really have enjoyed them. As you can clearly see, we have expanded again and again, and that duck house is ready to roll. Y'all take care out there, and we'll talk to you soon.